You know, when you enter in information into Google, you see that when you enter in information into Google, like a Quanquist people or Indian or you know what I'm saying, Aborigines of America, um, any of that sort of information, and then you click on images, right? This is considered slander when you're showing your first page is mulattoes, damn near look like damn near white motherfucker over here, right? Underneath the Quanquist Indian facts, native. Now see, what can save them is that native word, because that's not aborigine or indigenous to this land, right? But one would assume that. Now, in law, there's no assumptions, right? There's no fucking room for assumptions. Now, if you don't understand or understand or whatever the hell you want to call it, that they are playing mind games with you. They will give you, the search engine Google will feed you false information, fake news, and some real shit also. Let me show you an example. I put the word America, which origins comes from the land of the serpents, right? I searched it right here. Then I searched it again, right? And it'll give you two separate searches, right? You search one from your laptop and one from your desktop. You know, it'll throw you back some bullshit or it'll throw you back some real shit. Now, of course, they would say they protected from the law and this and that, and protected because here you know, it's not. They're just giving you information and that others are posting, which is bullshit, right? Now, a lot of us Aborigines are new to this information. That's coming to this information that's new to it. Don't understand how we got here. See, being young and raised, well, when I was younger, I was raised knowing about this shit because I was around my family that talked about this shit. As you guys are on the internet today talking about it, it was talked about back then openly, just like you're talking now. That's why I'm so glad to see such awakening in clear openness, because a lot of times we wouldn't involve pale skinned people into the conversation at all. Back then, they wasn't involved in the conversation. Nowadays, I'm seeing a lot of division because of the strong ass indoctrination. A lot of division. There's a lot of ignorant people, man, out here. Now, if you're one of those people that actually believe that your family was enslaved by a less than creature, hey, then that's you. That's on you. You know, they keep changing up lies after lies. One minute they'll say, oh yeah, we came over here. It was like 300 million estimate, about 300 million of them over here, you know. And then then the next second, in the same voice, they'll change that 300 million to 10 million, 15 million or some shit estimate. You know what I'm saying? Which is some bullshit, you know. Because we wasn't into counting the people. You feel me? Not at all. It wasn't into that. Counting the people like census and shit like that. Or playing with blood. Blood work. Hence DNA testing and shit like that. Now, we were big in truth and still are. Spiritual people. Got it. And they all said that as they came over. You know, but they dare not get out of hand. Now they overstay their welcome, as you could say. But some people say that. But I'm gonna tell you this: they're doing as they was told. You know, because we already had a structural system over here. Everyone across the globe adopted our shit. Pretty much. They adopted our shit. They followed us, just like they're still doing to today. The truth is gonna hurt, but I'm all about the truth. To today, they followed us. And why I'm saying this, because this system right here in America, just talking about this system, a quantum system, which was established in Ohio, pretty much, in what, 5 tribes, as they call it, as they're telling you, you know, and I'm not going to name the tribes at all. I'm just telling you what they're saying here with the timeline, right? Before any settler came, there was already an established, organized government with a constitution. Right here, on these lands, holy lands, land of the giants, land of the serpent, Garden of Eden. There's many stories that are told, and they're all from right here. All of them. The ones that really catch your attention, I should say. Because a lot of stories thereafter came. Well, after they came. And this is just a rough draft, pretty much. There's not going to be any editing. I'm straight just flowing with this shit. You know. Who were the Whigs? They established themselves in 1678. Now get it. Now I'm going to let you know. The Quantists been around predate AD. You understand? Where is it at? They're telling you of the history here when the settlers came. And this is the New York Times article, 1987. Talking about the influences on the framers of the Constitution. Which, here they actually acknowledge that. You know, but this acknowledgement right here is, it's not like they're derailing from the truth. it's kind of like putting this truth right in your and right in front of you, and derailing you. Well, not derailing you, but giving you false information as a child should be deemed one of the highest crimes a man can do, is violate that youngin's mind. Because when you affect the child's mind, you can affect that guy or woman's life as an adult. That child's life as an adult. No matter what you assume you're doing is correct. You're feeding them false information, misguiding their history, right? Because you can see the effects of such things that they did by doing that, by rewriting American history. Now, a lot of people with the information, with the knowledge, knows this, that American history has been rewritten. Period. That's not even debatable. It's not debatable. There's no comeback for any of that. Now, getting back to this, I really don't like calling them Indians. I'm going to just stick with Aboriginal. Because when you speak of Aboriginal, right, you speaking of us. Because that's pre-mixed up people. Pre-mulatto, gene pooling, if you want to call it. Generational mixing. That's what they have done. And when they show you these pictures, when I put in a Google search engine the images for Aquankus people, and they show you these fucking mulattoes, right? This is generational mixing. Because the Aquankus people was dark-skinned people. People of melanin. Our skins was dark, light, but not pale. You can be light as heart. You can be a light as heart. Right? And not have not an ounce of pale skin, Neanderthal, monkey blood in you. Reese's monkey. That's the dog that they got in them. They got some dog in them. There's other stuff that they mixed in them. But I'm not here talking about the Neanderthal mixed hybrids of the world. I'm here talking about the Aboriginals and the Aborigine nation. You understand? Now, they say 5 nations, 6 nations. You see, 1 minute they'll say 5, then the next minute they'll say 6. So they'll throw you off on all kinds of information, right? But the point is this. Everyone around the world was hungry. Pretty much. Black plague, as they call it. Plagues. Roman. Right? There wasn't no... The plague here is still occurring. You understand? My homeland, America, with all A's, right? with all A's, is what I'm concerned with. Because as these Neanderthal savages destroy my homeland, they are actually trying to put the blame on us, which we are the majority here. Now, I put the blame on them and the ones that helped them create. I'm not even going to say create. I'm going to say corrupted this nation. So therefore, now anyone can participate. You can be a willfully subject all you like. If you want to become a willful subject, that's what you can do. You can become that. See, they got a name, America, right here in Nigeria, right? It throws you off. It throw your ass off. Then they'll throw you America.com, means internal, or the eternal waters. The land of the serpent. The return of the serpents of wisdom of the Americas. America, the land of the serpents. Being situated. Here's the book. You can read this book. There's a lot of talk and books and about Americas, the land of the serpents. The mounds, the serpent mounds, and therefore, who is this? By Mark Amaru Pinkham. The serpent colonists of Americas. America, the land of serpents. Now, what makes more sense? There was a guy, who was it? Young Pharaoh. He was talking about Malcolm X, and he had some information that was alright, but a lot of people be stuck on this bullshit. I'm like, dog, if they are in the fucking media, they are motherfucking agents. If the media is pushing their fucking agenda, they are motherfucking agents or tools used against us, the Aborigine nation. I have no course with the motherfuckers, but they got to go. All of the bullshit will decease. It has to stop. That's the reason why I don't really condone a lot of shit that be said online. I just react, I comment, but I know they indoctrinated. I listen to your words and who you deem as a leader. You will never see a real leader in their media. Period. No, it's not happening. The chances of you seeing a real leader, it will probably be on the internet. But as soon as they deem that motherfucker a leader, they gonna give his ass some tokens. Tokens is money. And gonna have his ass drafted up if he's not a strong spirit. A strong spirit won't ask you for your funds. You understand? Or put you in a situation to where you have to give funds. Anything like that. Building is coming together and you building together. Your money moves together as one and comes back as one. You feel what I'm saying? Everyone's eating. You need it, you keep it in the community. That's what we taught. We taught this to other motherfuckers, but yet we refuse to do it again as our ancestors. This is going to be one of the realest motherfucking videos up here. I'm just speaking real truth. You know, some people might take it, offensive, but I'm not trying to impress you or none of that shit. None of that. Right? Now, what they did do is a successful coup, if that's what you want to call it. That's what they did do. Now, they'll call it Tulsa riots and, you feel what I'm saying, Jim Crow era. You understand? So what was the era before Jim Crow? Huh? What was this era like with the Quonkus Nation in Ohio? Throughout the Great Lakes, right? What was this like? And then the Mayans of Florida, huh? And Georgia, huh? And you start calling them Creek, huh? Mexico, huh? The Amaru, Latin, Spain, all the languages that they was speaking outside America was already in America, including English. How's that? Hebrew, that a lot of them wasn't even speaking. You feel me? But they was taught. So if you was on a mission to war, how the hell do you know Hebrew? Huh? How do they know that? You have to think. Think. They didn't speak languages. They are not indigenous. They are not Aborigine. What they did do was learn. They came over here with the passion to learn and fit in. That's how they were successful, and they gradually implemented some corruption, the evil bullshit, the standards and practices that our people are not coming to with or to do or whatever you want to say. But this is the teachings. I'm going to start doing this a lot more because I'm seeing a lot more dumbasses out here. And they're talking like they scholars. I don't mean to call them dumbasses, but dog, but when you repeat bullshit, right? I give you that bullshit look like, but I'm gonna let you continue to go on with your bullshit. And I will just, correct it suddenly. And if you look it up and whatever, it's whatever with me. I'm not trying to force anything on anyone because I know people are fucking nuts. Some people are fucking nuts. They crazy. Crazy. Now, our people wrote the government that you know now, Constitution, for the United States of America. America. For America. That was already established. Already. They had their own constitution. Yes, they did. Already. Before any settlers came. They don't even know the determined date. They just guessed and said maybe 1100 AD through the 1600 AD. I don't know. Maybe it was 1100. But they fucking know though. It's just the story they tell. You know. I'm not gonna let everything out the bag. I'm just stating facts. And a lot of people are not gonna watch this 25 minutes introduction video. Probably longer than this. But I'm gonna just keep it like that. Real simple. You cannot be an Aborigine if your skin is totally pale. Right? Now you a mulatto, right? What is that, half Aborigine? So you can claim half? Is that what that is? One drop? The one drop rule. You feel what I'm saying? Hear that blood talk? We always been a giving people. But this giving shit has gotten way out of hand. Way out of hand. Look at our nation. Everyone is swarming here. Still trying to swarm here now. And the people that we have set in place, we didn't set them in place, is not really looking out for their needs. See, I'm going to say their needs because I'm not a part of that willfully subjects. I'm trying to keep that at a distance because that's not for me. And I don't want to be a part of that at all. See, here they'll tell you right here. The Qantas Confederacy, or I'm not even going to go into that. Sony is believed to have been founded by the peacemaker, but key word, is believed to have been founded by the peacemaker in 1142 or 1451 AD, bringing together, get this, five distinct nations in the southern Great Lakes area into the Great League of Peace. Now the hint, the date. Now, when you do a Google search of, what is that? Haudenosaunee, or whatever the hell. I'm not even going to act like I'm a scholar with these words. But common sense is not used very often. You do a search of the people and the date they give, right? Along with the region, Great Lakes. Right? The people, date, region, into the search engine, right? I'm not even going to do the title. I'm going to do the titles by itself. That they gave, including, into this little, people ask. What questions did people ask? When was the Qantas Federacy formed? And they said 1142. pretty much. So I'm going to just take that, copy that, and do that by itself. But here, let me just go ahead and search that. And you see, they give me the number one is what they just said. I just read to you, but it's under the, yeah, it's the same shit. Same shit coming back over and over, but spread out throughout different websites talking about what they gave. It's in a book also. Yeah, it's in the book also with the fake information. They spread it out pretty good, but I'm more concerned with the images. The images, which is pretty much identity theft, slander to my peoples, our ancestors, pretty much slanderish. Look at this motherfucker right here, straight pale. You know what I'm saying? Pale. Drawing. You know, no color, straight pale. Let me click this. What is that? This picture. I can't really see that picture, so I'm gonna try to blow it up. And then they ain't gonna send it to me though. They're not gonna make it easy. It's probably one of these. See what I'm saying? You see the images that they show you? Just straight bullshit. And you know it's bullshit. You know it's bullshit. This information is up to feed their bullshit ass people information. And you see these motherfuckers. Yes, the time is up. You know what I mean? Look at this shit. Modern communities. Look at that shit. In Buffalo, New York, 1914. They made their move. The late 1800s. They made a move. Pretty much. Nah, I ain't gonna say late 1800s. They made a move 1700s, gradually. Right? And they slowly adjusted our paperwork, pretty much our systems. They started adding departments gradually. When I say gradually, I'm saying generational. They didn't do shit fast in one generation after the next. They didn't do that. Nah, This plan was set forth and seen out through some Pacific bloodlines. And they still doing the same tactics, teaching the same ways like they've been teaching for thousands of fucking years. Because they think, well, it's working, don't fix it. The infiltration I'm talking about into our world. And this is what they created. By the early 1900s. Can't really blow it up though. Can't really blow it up. They won't let me blow it up. Yeah, there. I blew it up a little bit. But you can see what I'm saying. Mulattoes. Like a motherfucker. Their agenda. These can be some motherfuckers from, now they say Buffalo, New York. They could have just moved these motherfuckers in and called them something. You know what I mean? Because you see this little TP shit back in the back. Little tents and shit. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they got the feathers. You know what I'm saying? Feathers. And this white motherfucker right here on the side. You can't see him. Right there in the little toboggan. Little pale skin. I don't really like using the term white. You know, it's a division. They came with that division, man. The division and indoctrination. That freedom school shit was strong. And then when they implemented some bullshit, right? Because they ran a coup. Then they implemented your child have to be in trudency. Yeah. The tardiness and all that. They lock your ass up, the parent up, if you don't send your kids to school. Indoctrination camp. Because that's how they did it. And that's how they are doing it still. To this day. They're indoctrinating the kids. And that is what we have to stop. We have to stop this shit. That's their number one tool, is indoctrination and propaganda. This media shit. That's it. And they do a very good job of it. Very good job of it. Let me show you, for instance, what they do. Some of their jobs they do. Shout out to Supreme Chief Holiday. You know, I'm going to shout him out. A Chaunchus one. I'm going to shout him out. He got some passion. Dan Calloway. I used to call him the comment reader before he blew up on YouTube. He used to be on YouTube reading comments. He ain't lying. I'm gonna say he's very intelligent. Saying smart, I don't like using that word. That's like, you know, it changes up so much. English has so many different definitions of one word, like resident, lawfully. It has thousands of different lawful meanings. It can be used in cases. So therefore, I try to watch what I use, the words I use sometimes, especially in this public forum right here. You know what I'm saying? You can deem a lot of this shit. I know I can use this shit against you pretty much. You putting it out there. So a lot of people get their shit used against them and don't know how to defend themselves because they're not sovereign for real. You feel what I'm saying? Which has a different meanings lawfully in itself, but not as many as resident. You understand? And words like that. But where's that at? Like, the party system started here in the United States. The 1776, they had the Jeffersons and all that. Right. And the form that they got that from was us. You know, the Revolutionary War and stuff didn't jump off until the 1800s, mid 1800s, right? Clashing because of the they was battling generational ancestors that knew a greater deal who they were and what lands they were on and where they came from, because the indoctrination was not set in place. You feel what I'm saying? So the possession of contract, what they did, contract possession, they possessed the contracts, well, like land by contract, coming up with fictitious contracts and shit like that, and you feel what I'm saying, claiming the land, you know. And our people already had placed a system sort of like that, but it wasn't aggressive as you're seeing now. You know, they had castles, palaces, roads, paved, unpaved, you know, different types of looks for different types of occasions. Dirt, rocky, you know, because they had a lot of horses. I was even talking back in the day when they came out with the television, and I remember my great grandma saying about the radio and stuff like that, and the television. She was saying that the television, this is not the first time that it's been introduced, because the society that they call Atlantis, she was saying that was our people, and they had things that most people won't even dream of and can't even imagine that they had back then. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I'm just roaming now and talking. I'm rambling, telling stories. I was about to go on a story journey, but basically the Republicans started I'm not gonna say Republicans, it was a party system. Here they pretty much ran a coup on our shit. You know, drafted our shit as they shit. But it's, when I say they, I'm saying a mix of people. People keep thinking that this was just all a pale-skin thing. They actually came up with a division called white-black to divide people. You feel what I'm saying? But they're not divided. They're the same. You feel me? Not same in complexion, but they're the same in thought. So that's what we fight, and that's what we battle, just like our ancestors did. But our ancestors was more aggressive with it. And a lot of people don't recognize what's happening and seeing it for what it is. So this is my introduction to this channel. Subscribe. I will be dropping more shit, you know, talking about more events, past events that I know of, shit that I've learned when I was younger, that I was told by my great grandma, you know, that knew who she was and knew who her family was and where she came from. And no, we was never no motherfucking slaves like my family. Now, I don't know about your motherfucking shit, but I know there wasn't no motherfucking boats jumping off to where we was, because they would have been burnt up. Just like she said, like, dog, that shit would have been burnt the fuck up. They wouldn't even have made it. They wouldn't have survived. They wouldn't be here. She was just common like that. Use common sense. It never happened like that. It wasn't getting down like that, like they saying it. You feel what I'm saying? What you gonna do? Allow that shit? No, you're not. So just use your mind and think. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Well, no, don't believe some of the shit that they force to you to believe because you believe wholeheartedly because you was a kid being taught that shit. And your mom and dad was taught that shit. Same way. So it is what it is. We got a fight ahead of us, and that's all it is. Aborigine nation, baby, stand up.